our guest today, and what a thrill to talk to him, because he and his team in Daventry do something quite wonderful. They create and sell full-scale steam traction engine models that look amazing. Based in Daventry, as I say, director and, in his own words, General Dog's Body of Steam Traction World, Dean Rogers. Hello, Dean. I'm Bernie. Nice to talk to you.
Hi, Bernie. Good morning.
Dean. Reg, Dean.
Hi, Reg.
Morning.
They're like Airfix kits, only a little bit bigger. That's how you describe them, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit more complicated, but yeah. So the customers don't need a lathe or a milling machine or anything like that, and we do all the machining, and they do the old-fashioned assembler's job and painting.
And did it start as a hobby for you, and now it's become a hobby for other people's hobby?
Really, I mean, it's not a hobby for me. I was more of a machinist. My business partner was passionate about traction engines and that sort of thing, and then we just developed a market and we went from there, really.
And you send them out in kit form, do you then?
Yeah, so normally, I mean, the business has developed and changed a little bit over the last few years, but under normal circumstances, we do it over a kit a month over about 2 years, and then month one you get something like your front wheels, and month two your smoke box and your perch brackets and things, all the way through to the final kit where you should be able to put some coaling and steam it.
And it would take about 2 years, would it? Because there's a fellow on your Facebook page who says, lovely, when I can finish my second kit that I started in 2018. That's about right,
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, I mean, we've had more and more nowadays. We're getting people, because we've got, 25% of the business is now sort of evolved to around the world. So we're getting more and more people who want everything as quickly as possible. They've got the money, they've got the time, especially with COVID around. They want something to do. So we also offer that we can supply it quicker now. And, I mean, the quickest we've had is about 11 weeks from start to finish to steam.
And it's amazing what you create. They're metal, aren't they?
All metal, so yeah, I mean, they're just like a full-size steam engine you would have seen at Hollowell Steam Rally, something like that. Just anything from 1/6 to 1/3 to half scale, so up to about 1.75 tons is about the heaviest one we do.
That's amazing, isn't it? Is it Burrell or Burrell?
Burrell.
Burrell. Yeah, it's about 9 foot long and weighs 1.5 ton.
Yeah, that's the newest one we're about to launch. I mean, our most popular one is the 1/3 scale version of that. We've done about 550 of them around the world. And they run in at about 16k-ish.
And to put it in context so you can kind of visualise what that is, you've got some in the group photo of all your team that come up to kind of chest and waist height, don't they, when you stand next to them?
Yeah, so the smallest one will, you can remove the chimney, and a couple of people at 60 kilos can lift it in the back of a hatchback. The biggest one you want a Discovery or something to tow it, So, but the average one's about waist height. You sit on it, you drive it sitting on it rather than being towed behind, so you feel part of the project and the excitement.
So you'll make all the plates, you'll make all the cogs and things. You had a Hyundai Kia milling machine that you had for 5 years. That was doing boilers and cylinders and horn plates and wheels, yeah?
Yeah, so we've just purchased 4 new machines in the last sort of 2 years. Hyundai's been traded in for another new machine. So we've got 10 CNC machines here with a dozen staff, just making our own products. So yeah, and we buy in laser cuts. So we do all the folding and we do all the sheet metal work and the welding of the boilers and things, as well as all the CNC milling and turning, etc.
It's Airfix with attitude, this, Reg, isn't it? It's Airfix with attitude.
It's amazing, isn't it? I'm just looking at the website as we speak, Bernie. Yeah, brilliant.
It is amazing. It is. It's steamtractionworld.com if you want to see what we're talking about with Dean. I'm thinking you would need engineering knowledge, would you? Because I'm not a mechanic in any way, shape or form, but I instantly want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, we hold your hand on all the way. So, we have a technical team and we have email facilities, and so customer gets a little bit stuck along the way. We're there. We help them steam when they get to the end of the build. So if they've got no experience with steam whatsoever, they can bring their engine in, and we'll spend the day steaming with them. And we're regularly seeing around Daventry with our half-size steam lorry and steam cars and bits and bobs. So, yeah.
I saw you not long ago at Yelvertoft, outside a pub. I don't know what that says about you, Dean, but I saw someone with one of these. Was that you?
That was me, yeah. That was actually, yeah. That was my half-size Foden.
That's amazing. And what would happen with it then? Once your clients have built the thing, what happens? Do they take them to rallies?
Yeah, I mean, we have sort of three customers. We have some people who just want to buy them built. We have customers who want to build them and then sell them. They enjoy the building process rather than the steaming process. So they build them, sell them, sometimes make a few quid, and then we have people who really love them. You know, they name them after their parents and family members and take them to the likes of Holwell and Great Dorset and the rallies around the country, yeah.
And of course this year you've not been able to show off your hobby, have you, for 15 months?
No, it's been we've been very fortunate. It's been a tough year for the majority, but we've gone up by about 20% turnover because people are looking for things to do. We were very, very lucky. You know, we've had to work hard. We took another couple of people on, so they got some new machines. But, you know, there's a lot of people suffered.
Are you in a field of one, or are there many others who make such things?
We're very lucky. It's just us. So we've got no real competition, thankfully. All the designs we do ourselves. We take a full-size engine. We contact the owner and we scale it down. We get original work drawings from museums, and then we put it all into 3D CAD, which takes we've got 21 designs, and each design takes about a year.
And are they then based on existing traction engines? Are they based on historical artefacts?
Almost all are current traction engines that you could see at a lot of the rallies. So they're based on a particular engine, yeah.
And they go all around the world?
They do, yeah.
I think it's amazing. It's amazing. And it sells out, doesn't it? You had a run of Italian water bouncers. Sold out.
Yeah, we sell out of everything. You know, I mean, it's one of them things that I always kick myself and go, we should do a bigger batch. You know, our batches tend to be 20 to 50 each model, and then we sell out and end up releasing another batch next year. But you know, we can't put all the cash on the shelves, so we sell out and then we do another batch later on.
Because you're here, you're in Daventry. Do you have many people local who will use your services?
We don't actually. I mean, we've got a couple of customers in Daventry. I went to school at Guilsborough, so we used to do Hollowell Steam Alley ourselves, but it became more of a bumping into people I know than a sales pitch. So our real only show is Great Dorset Steam Alley, and locally there's very few customers, but you know there is a few in Northamptonshire.
I mean, it's not cheap, is it? If you're going to need 36 kits to do the Burrell thing, that's going to cost you over 40 grand, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, our cheapest one starts at 8k, which sounds a lot, but when you spread that over 2 years at £300 a month, because you only pay for what you receive. So from a business perspective, cash flow wise is great. Regular income from a customer's perspective, he spreads the payment and the build. So he can take his time each month doing a kit. It only costs him £299 on a 2-inch Burrell, £549 on a 4-inch, which, you know, is still a large amount, but at least he can spread it and then at the end of it have an investment.
And it's also something that you will lose yourself in, isn't it, doing? You will just lose yourself.
Absolutely. I mean, it's great from the perspective, you know, people have built kit cars for years, you know, all the different Caterhams, Cobras sort of things out there. And this is just something different, and people... You know, the people who smile when they see you, you know, if you guys saw us at Yelvertoft, the amount of people who see you go past and slow down and smile in difficult times is just brilliant, really.
Yeah, I think so. And you're given respect on the road, I bet. You wouldn't cross one of them, would you, Reg? You would not cross one of them.
That wouldn't have been a boom, bang, a bang, will it?
You wouldn't cross that. That's very good. But the pub you went to, it was shut, wasn't it, Dean?
Yeah, we went to the Head of Steam, you know, in Lilbourne, funny enough, you know, which is pretty adequate. You know, it's named perfectly. I live in Claycoton, so we drove to the Head of Steam, which is about a couple of miles from me, and that was closed. So then we drove back to Yelvertoft to the Knightly Arms, and obviously just pulled up there and had some refreshments and filled up the water.
And that's where I saw you, yeah. Well, I think it's utterly unique, and it's a proper jewel in the county's crown. It's amazing, really. And when you get the stuff, because it's based on something that historically existed, do your clients then tend to stick to the colour that it was, or can they personalise it and they do whatever they want?
Most personalised. So we supply unpainted, and the painting really is probably the most difficult part. So we supply unpainted, but most customers choose an engine they like the look of, because there's lots of Burrell Showman's engines, for example. The one ours is based on a blue engine, but the majority will do theirs in the black or green or crimson. So they choose their own colour scheme, really.
Well, it tends to happen, Dean, whenever we have guests here every week, I want what they're talking about. So at the moment I've got my eye on a snakeskin-wrapped Ford Capri that we were talking about last week. But now I'm thinking scale modern steam traction engine. I'm getting a new dog in my life in the autumn. So to put the dog on the back of this going around the gardens would be amazing, wouldn't it?
No. Come and pay us a visit. I mean, we have a nice showroom here. The factory's open to visitors, so we've got a working environment with our own showroom sales office. We don't pressure sell, we don't need to, but people can come and have a coffee and see what we do and see how an old-fashioned English manufacturing engineering company works.
What a great thing for the county. You're in Alvis Way, aren't you, in Daventry? That's where people can find you. Website is the best place. It's steamtractionworld.com, or this number, 01327 30 10 30. steamtractionworld.com. That's great, Dean. Thanks very much.
Yeah. Thanks, Dean. Brilliant.
You're very welcome. Thanks very much.